Let's do some music. All right, here we go. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Here I am, my Tundra, doing Fibonojji's travelogue. I can't wait to get on the road again. All right, I want to show you something. Look at this. Doing Johnny Travelogue, baby. I made an investment in this. Man, you got to, whatever you love to do, you got to invest. And so I've been doing this Johnny Travelogue, trying to share my story, trying to share my blah, blah. And I bought art. Here you go, check it out. Here we go. Boom. You're like, oh my goodness, that's not art, that's a picture. I love photography, dude. I'm a really good photographer. Look at my Fibonojji, nigga. How you like, seriously, dude. I want to learn how to do it. I actually have a really good camera. I want to learn more about that. Anyway, that's where I'm at. And you know, here's the deal. I mean, this is San Clemente? Clementine? I mean, anyway, that's where I'm at. See, check it out. Look, you got the stairs there. That's beautiful. I mean, and then, you know, just Colorado is like degrees of epic. And, you know, let's talk about set points for a second. What is a set point? I mean, we all have a set point. It's an emotional set point. We have them physically, emotionally, sexually, geographically, naturally, financially, innately, in our health, in our bodies. We all have a set point, you know, and I'm from Oklahoma, dude. I grew up in Duncan, Oklahoma. I went to places like Plato Elementary School. Horseman, nigga, horseman. Plato represent, Westmore and Oklahoma City, O-Town. All right, Oklahoma City. I mean, so I grew up in Oklahoma, dude. And Oklahoma, there's some of the best people in the world there, dude. I mean, like Oklahoma there are no better humans than Oklahomans. I mean, so I was so privileged to grow up in there. But my set point is still Duncan, Oklahoma. Duncan, Oklahoma. Okay? And I grew up, you know, you got to picture this. We had 6 people in our family, 4 brothers and sisters, 2 were kind of already gone, so I'm one of 6. My stepdad was from Malaysia. He married my mom, Rebecca, Queen Rebecca, and King Abdul. I say Abdul because his name was Abdul, but when he came to America, he needed a green card, so he changed it to Adam. In Duncan, Oklahoma, 1821 Terrace Drive, Eastside Church of Christ. I remember when my stepdad, who's a nuclear pharmacist, really, really intelligent man, got a job in Oklahoma City, and I remember one time he got paid, and it was $2,300, and that was a good job. And I remember holding his paycheck in my hand. I think he was going to buy a car with $1,400 cash, and I held $1,400 cash, and and then I went into business and. I did second liens sometimes for $200,000 as second liens, and I built a mortgage company from zero to, made a little bit of money. Got some. In fact, I owe in taxes what I would love to. Anyway, so I did pretty good, and that's my story. Set point. So what is a set point? Set point is kind of where you're set. We have them spiritually too. And let's go back to my artwork. You're like, okay, so degrees of epic, California. For some people to grow up in La Jolla, California, on the beach, that's all they know. Like, I'll tell you a real quick story. I was in a Ferrari dealership and, looking at a Ferrari 488 in La Jolla. And, one of the people there, they were talking about one of the jokes. And I just kind of, I'm a talkative guy, pretty social guy, and I love cars. So I got to talk to this car guy. We were talking about standard transmissions, and they were talking about how they have a Porsche. That they have a Ferrari. I think they've had 2 Ferraris. Her dad has a Ferrari. Her brother has a Ferrari. And the LOL joke in La Jolla was one of their children went to school, and that girl said, "You mean your dad doesn't have a Ferrari?" And that kid's set point is everybody drives $400,000 vehicles. And of course, that's not everybody in California is like that. I mean, I can show you homelessness in San Francisco, and there's a set point. And and I think about people who grew up with this, and I think, man, do they understand how beautiful that is and how epic? And set points. And if you start thinking about human development and personal development, and we have to look at how we are emotionally set. And some of us are set, where our set points are really high. And then some of us have set points where we're really low. A little bit about my story. That's Colorado. I don't even really like that picture. Again, I'm kind of a photog snob, but I love Colorado and Durango, Colorado, and the set point of growing up in Durango, Colorado. I mean, I love Durango so much. It's such beautiful country. Durango raised my spiritual nature set point from 2 to 200. And I love Durango so much and Colorado so much that when I took a picture that I bought for $15 a picture. For $15, I bought a picture of Colorado I don't even like, just because it reminded me. There's a set point. I took that because I love nature. And, really, you can say my story started here. It went here. And now it's here. And there's the pier, the background. You can see to the back left. In fact, let me show you. You're like, I don't believe you. Maybe you're just like some crazy man. All right, let's go set point. All right. What I want you to really see is not so much the nature, even though that's beautiful, is, look at your own set points, look at your own situations, and well, maybe relationally I have a set point. See that? And there's some people who grew up and their set points have words like, I lived in the shelter, foster child. Some people that grow up and their set points are, you mean your dad doesn't have a Ferrari? Really? What's wrong with you? I mean, again, set points, and they're innocent, and if you want to look at where we're hurting as a people, or where you're hurting as a person, look at your set point. For example, I just did kind of a funny video where I got fired from a rehab center. And there's a lot of people there that just really, they don't need to be running a rehab center, or at least not a 12-step. Because for me, the 12 steps are sacred. If you want to run a business, you want to make a nickel, I'm pro-capitalist. But don't use the 12 steps. Don't misuse it, And there's a reason why there's 12 steps and there's 12 traditions. And again, I'm kind of a 12 snob. There was a guy there, really, really good guy. I'll leave his name off. And he said to me, to me and somebody else, he goes, yeah, you're not going to really make any money. And, the only people really getting rich are the owners, but you're not going to really make any money here, but you're going to help, maybe every once in a while you'll have. And I started thinking, well, that's absolutely true. A lot of people, like in social work, they don't make any money. They're all about helping people. And then I go, well, we don't ever say to surgeons, like, it's almost funny. Remember, Isaac in the Bible means laughter. You never hear you never hear like a surgeon who's trained for 10 years. Hey, listen, you're going to go out there, you're going to do a lot of cardiothoracic surgery, some vascular stuff, some vascular interventions. You're going to really help a lot of people, but don't worry. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you're going to help some people. Like, that's comical. And it's real funny how we idolize surgeons, who usually just are an extension of pharmaceutical companies. But when we talk about personal development and healing, we're offended when they make money. And set points, and when I moved to Durango, one of the first things I did is I got physically stronger, because I had to be stronger in Durango. Physically, I started losing weight. I weigh 171 pounds now. Physically, I got in shape. Why? I had to. And then I remember I just went to a rehab center. I got fired after 24 hours. I sat there and go, I could design the perfect recovery. Wouldn't be sitting in a house, watching television, eating Oreos. I saw this guy there at this rehab center. His name is Tim. I'll leave his last name off. I was told to not really talk to him much because he was cash pay and he's there for recovery. But really what he was doing is just treating it as a spa. Maybe, I don't know what his intentions were. He had about 15 meds. He was on, so I'm very, very overweight. He had literally a bag of morning medication, and then probably a bag of afternoon medication. Nobody's going to talk about, holy shit, this guy's addicted to, prescription drugs, and they're going to, because where I was an insurance-based facility where they don't really care about the healing as much as they care about the insurance reimbursement. So everything's from the insurance perspective. So this guy needs an inhaler. He needs literally just to help this guy breathe because he's so morbidly obese. Took like 4 medications. I'm like, dude, why don't we just take him into nature? And if Tim hiked up, if Tim simply had to hike up to one of those peaks, it would change his life. And how now that my set point for spirituality just grew so much in Durango, I sit there and I go, dude, we're wasting our time in these churches, we're wasting our time in these rehab centers, and a lot of times we're wasting our time in these 12-step circular meetings that are head up. Let's get out in nature. Let's go hiking. Because I promise you, you hike 50 miles on a Saturday morning, you're going to learn some things about yourself. You do it in community, you do it in a loving community, you're going to learn some things about people, and you're going to grow. These churches are so sanitized with their MDivs and everybody wants to be the next version of the next popular guy, and the church is almost as bad as TMZ, In fact, most of the stuff that I see, there's a Facebook channel it's called Relevant, and it's really trying to help. It's called Relevant, and what they talk about mostly are exactly what I grew up in Duncan, Oklahoma. It's like, but it's kind of it's a 2016 version of old fundamentalism, and it's all about who you're going to marry, who you're not going to have sex with, is sex wrong, and who's mean in the church. And I'm like, dude, man, we're losing our souls. It's time to just get out in nature. And then I get fired from a rehab center, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if that's funny or glorious. They pay me $3.15, $315 for a daily, and I go, dude, I could design the perfect recovery thing, and you know what it'd be? It'd be like, all right, which coast do you want to meet at? We're going to do something in nature for a week. Pay me. Some of these insurance companies, the reimbursements are insane, And again, it's like, wow, these insurance companies are paying $30,000, $40,000 for people to sit in rooms and eat Oreo cookies, and the therapies in the garage. And I'm like, dude, this is like, and I think because it was a place where people were going to get healed, and they were selling healing. In fact, one of my job descriptions, I met the big guy, and his intentions are good. I just think, again, I said in another video, sometimes the business you start hiring the wrong people. Or worse, you hire the people who know, Coda, and you're going to, it's just bullshit. Like Enron people want to work with other Enron people. And they're often really, really brilliant people. But Enron likes Enron. Like attracts like. Anyway, I guess I'm going to call this one Jonathan Fibonojji on nature and healing. And I guess I'm going to go on to the next town, back to La Jolla. Cash my $315 check. I got fired by a rehab center. It's a beautiful town, this place. Beautiful town. Like I said, California is so beautiful, it's just degrees of epic. California's like, Cindy Crawford, dude, In fact, I did a video of people I want to have sex with, and I'm like, dude, I didn't include Cindy Crawford, I guess because she, I guess I'm so heartbroken. She chose that other Randy guy because he's wealthy and stuff. But there were no more beautiful people than Elle McPherson and Cindy Crawford. You either were one or the other. I mean, they're beautiful. But California basically is like fucking Cindy Crawford or fucking Elle McPherson. Every day is a glorious, glorious day. And even when it's bad, you're fucking Elle McPherson. You're fucking Cindy Crawford. Anyway, degrees of epic. Talk to you guys soon.